Right, hello, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Good morning if it's a morning as well. My name is Paul, I'm also called Knickknack, and you probably know me from my blog, Knickknack's Whole Peculiar, or from Knickknack's Daily Teasers, a range of fun daily brain teaser quizzes that I occasionally, every so often, upload to YouTube. Occasionally you'll also notice on my channel, Mr. Cuddy2977, that I'll talk about films I've enjoyed or not enjoyed watching, or I'll talk about TV shows that I've seen. That's what I've actually wanted to talk to you tonight about. I've actually seen the first episode of the new series Penny Dreadful, City of Angels, called Santa Muerte. I hope I've got that pronounced correctly. I'm sure at least one of my regulars will tell me if I haven't. But at any rate, I've seen Santa Muerte, and I wanted to talk to you about it. Episode 1, Santa Muerte, opens up with bare credits of the series, showing us details of the producers. It's backed by an apocalyptic bit of narration provided by the demonic character Magda, played by Natalie Dormer. She's shown in a field in Southern California talking to her sister, Santa Muerte, Lorenza Izzo, I hope I've pronounced that right, where the pair are discussing death and humanity, and quite how easily humans can be persuaded by a whisper to start killing each other. It's at this point that Magda sets the field on fire, making sure of the death of one man whose soul Muerte has to usher through to the next world, but also making sure that the man's son doesn't get caught in the flames. Many years later, in 1938 Los Angeles, we find that little boy, Tiago, played by Daniel Zavato, and again my pronunciation is awkward, I know that. We find that Tiago is now a newly promoted plainclothes police detective in LA's police force, the first Mexican American to serve as such. His family are determined to celebrate with him until the following morning. His police partner, Detective Louis Mitchener, Nathan Lane, he asks Tiago to come in early. 2 whole days early. There's corpses in the LA River storm drain of rich white Americans who've possibly been spoken by Americans that speak fluent Spanish. Not only that, the bodies have got seriously nasty wounds that look seriously occult. This doesn't look like murder, it looks like ritual sacrifice. Now, what did I make of this first episode? Is it good? Is it setting up a good successor to the original Penny Dreadful? Has Santa Muerte done so whilst potentially setting up a series that's going in its own direction, with its own feel and its own style, and still looking good? Yes, it bloody well has. This is a fantastic piece of TV. Now, I'll admit, the past few weeks, with some of the films and TV shows I've watched recently, I will happily admit to getting ants in my pants, to sitting there, stopping and starting the show, perpetually glancing at my watch thinking, how much longer is this going on? What have you? I've got kind of sort of bored easily. Santa Muerte, on the other hand, this first episode of Penny Dreadful, City of Angels, is absolutely seat-gluing stuff. I've been watching a tale about warring families, warring communities, warring devils and angels, even, if I suspect that that's what the Dormer and Izzo characters are. It's shown me a take on American racial troubles that may be fictionalised, but certainly have their roots in the country's history and occasionally in current events as well, from what I've seen.
It's 0 hours.
Thank you, Casey. It's shown me a take on what I suspect is a devil, Dormer, and what I suspect is an angel, even though it's the angel of death, Izzo, that I've not given thought to. Actually, Lorenzo Izzo's costume is quite something. It's sort of almost like an antique wedding dress with a Spanish mantilla and a very complicated headdress with nails and skulls everywhere. It's a beautiful bit of design, I think. But it's setting up going back to what I was saying, it is setting up conflict, and a family conflict that's going to serve as a symbol for the coming war and for a conflict that's going to drive the rest of this series. This first series of Penny Dreadful City of Angels, this first episode, I have to ask, will this first story be any good? At the moment, on the basis of what I've seen tonight, yes, it will. Will I keep watching? Yes. Am I going to tell you to watch City of Angels? Yes. Do I think it's going to be fantastic? On the strength of Santa Muerte? Yes, it is. Keep watching, folks. Keep coming back and telling me what you think. Have a good evening.